I'll be reacting to Digimon 2020 episode 67. I will be watching it from Crunchyroll's website, and I'll be starting my reaction from the 1 minute and 34-second mark. 1, 0, go! Oh, hell yeah, I'm pumped up with this. Oh, man, Omegamon looks so damn cool, too. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's similarly fluid to the episode 66. Especially with the way you see the eyeballs move and then Taichi's facial expressions. I gotta bet Negamon's gotta have like all the confidence in the world to be leading Omegamon to what seemingly looks like its core. Oh boy. I gotta make Omegamon's voice sound a bit creepy. And the music too, it makes him sound so damn menacing on top of his grandiose voice and his imposing character design. Yes, I would have loved to have had a bit more characterization for Negamon because let's just be real. They introduced him really, really late into the series, like third to last episode, or should I say fourth. But with the small amount of time that it's always dedicated towards them, they've done a decent job. Yo, what an absolutely greedy bastard to keep on consuming like that. I wonder when he says with those that we have yet to meet, I wonder if that's a potential sequel bait. Well, I wouldn't say it's a sequel, but a potential build up towards, say, a 2020 version of 02, which I wouldn't necessarily mind if they do a good job, that is. I am not. You know what the way it says? I am nothingness, and I am one who erases all. It makes Negamon to be such an edgelord, but you know what? I don't mind that one bit. Kind of sounds like an epic bad version of Break the Chain. Yo, the animation looks really gorgeous too. And that's what the anime is having to draw so many detailed character designs with a lot of lines. That cannot be easy at all. Yeah, it's a remix of Break the Chain, but an orchestral version of it. Well, seems like it's an orchestral version of it. Sounds beautiful though. It might give Yamato and Taichi a chance. Yeah, exactly. And I kind of like this too, because them doing it this way, well, yes, Yamato and Taichi are going to get the lion's share of the win. At least the writing stuff isn't ignoring all the other Digidestined. Yes! Yeah, it is a remix of Break the Chain. Like, seriously, this theme sounds so epic. I feel like it could even fit in a fighting game. And this is actually some of the best animation they've ever given Omegamon because it's fluid. You can see multiple keyframes put into animating the cape, the destruction when you see Negamon hit the ground, and the way the missiles move too with like the slight smears, and even like the blue starlight sparkles when they're about to land. It looks fucking gorgeous. And even the smoke effects too coming from the missiles. Oh, that's a visual delight. You can definitely tell Toei, they're going all on 67. This is definitely the A+++ team. It's actually nice too when you see Taichi motion his arm. He motions it as if he's utilizing a shield too. That actually makes the animation look more dynamic whenever you see the Digimon and then also the human character also do some similar movement like their fellow Digimon. It makes it look cool. I don't even want to imagine the damage from that beam if it would have hit Omegamon. Well, that is shields on. I don't even love how the smoke slowly dissipates from Negamon. It gives him a much more flashier entrance there. Even like the sparkles too when you see Yamato, at least portion of Omegamon about to unleash its gun. Well, I should say Gamomon's. Well, it wouldn't be a Toei anime without at least one beam struggle. Okay, now it's going like straight up a Dragon Ball style. And I fucking, well, I should say Dragon Ball Super style. And I fucking love it. It's gorgeous. I was like when you see energy auras just clashing with each other. Just something about that never gets old. That is a damn badass kid to be blocking them beams like that. That was fucking slick. Actually covering up part of its attack utilizing the cape. That's just absolutely... Yo, did they actually finish off Negamon? Oh no, looks like... Shit, it's a shame that Megamon can just detach the blade and continue attacking Negamon with a different method. Considering the blade is attached to a Megamon. Kind of meant the build like... Oh, snap. It's actually nice everyone utilizing their crests too to get the upper hand. I just wish again though the previous episodes did more legwork and explain what the actual crests did because that's something the original series did though. Still a cool moment regardless. Just saying it doesn't have as much emotional weight as the original series and when you had all the Digijessons utilizing their crests near the finishing stretch of the original series. Oh, yeah. Now, this is damn good storyboarding because... And seeing Taichi Yamato struggle, but then they get extra bits of motivation due to everyone else continuing to fight on. I like this. It actually puts the others on semi-equal footing with Yamato and Taichi. Wait, is this a new song? Okay, I need to look up the... Oh! Yo, that golden blade looks sick. Shit, I might actually want to buy an Omegamon figure now. It looks too fucking... Okay, now it feels like when he's about to release the Bleem attack, it looks like something out of a Straight Studio Sugar anime. Like, no joke. But, yo, it is a Break the Chain remix. Oh, shit. I wasn't expecting them to, like, remix them instrumental work. But to have the same singer still sing the song. Now, wait, that's a new form for Omegamon. No. I like how angular it looks. No, yo, that's definitely Studio Sugar-esque. And I fucking love it. Well, keeps with the whole thing all bad eyes don't look at explosions. And hopefully Negamon vanishes for good. Oh. I'm assuming he's going to imply that he's going to return someday. Oh, okay. For a second, if Omega would have left it off as... Okay, I like that message there. Where it's at least somewhat optimistic, where even though, yes, Negamon fell off an evil path, there's a chance he might go into a good path eventually. Kind of like that. It makes it at least a bit open-ended, where if they were to come back, it could have a potential plot point with Negamon becoming good or evil again. Gotta admit, that fight scene was amazing, though. You can definitely tell the animators at Toei, they went all fucking in. Honestly, that attack from Aegon looks like it could be a fucking planet busting level, though. With how grandiose it looked. I'm assuming maybe it's Taichi and others being transported back to the human world, maybe? Oh, never mind. I guess I'm wrong on that. I always love seeing Agumon and Taichi's relationship. It's always nice seeing them all happy with their Digimon. I mean, I can hope they at least have a way of visiting the Digimon, though, and being able to go to the digital world. And that's one way to go likewise for the Digimon, too, where the human world's beyond their understanding, so it'd probably go both ways. I kind of like the refined look of the digital world there. Digital world, it doesn't look so distorted anymore. I wonder what that's implying. Aw, that's fucking cute. And that's especially seeing how much of a long way Yamato's come from being a loner to now having multiple friends and having such a beautiful bond going on. It puts a smile to my face. Yeah, so cute seeing Ditamon give Koshiro a nice little massage there. Well, yeah, we haven't seen Joe Study in quite a while. Aww. Oh, man. Oh, it's nice seeing the love those two got for each other. Yeah, we got a badass here, Otaku. I just kind of wish they gave us more bonding moments with Hikari and Telmon, though. I feel like that's one of the dynamics that they really missed the opportunity on. Because I remember the original doing a great job on that, on giving Hikari and Telmon such a beautiful relationship. Oh, okay. I was about to say that's it. Yeah, because I remember, yeah, because in the Crunchyroll timer, it's at barely at 17 minutes and 2 seconds right now. Oh, I like that where he acknowledges it ain't just the humans, but also the efforts of the Digimon too that allowed peace to occur. Finally, he looks at it to share knowledge with great joy on something that's actually positive for once. About damn time. That's actually quite the optimistic perspective from Liam on there. And you know what's a miracle? It's actually a miracle. We get to see Leomon actually survive that whole series. Oh, that's so funny. Well, I know in the original series when they merged the two together, there were more positives than negatives. I wonder if that egg has the reincarnation of the Negamon, perchance. Aww. Oh, that's a cute little Digimon. Kind of like how it has a nice feeling of finale, just seeing some of the Digimon or heroes I've encountered throughout the series. This is actually nice. It really does give it a nice, and it's probably nice to see. Of course, if you're making a meme, he's that. Oh man, that's so cute. It's nice to see our burger lover sharing the awesomeness of fries with everyone. Oh, at least he got those formerly selfish Digimon sharing from the water fountain. I like that too. That even though you have happy moments, you have some of the Digimon mourn the dead. I like it. At least it gives it a nice bit of a bittersweet vibe. At least reminding us that the Digimon haven't forgotten the fallen. Hmm. Oh, the Hachiko's. At least it looked like the Hachiko statue. I always love looking at that. Is that something? Yes! All right. I think that was still on the feet. I just wonder how people would react to Digimon, though. Okay. Now that makes sense. People would be creeped the fuck out if they saw someone like a Gilmon. I gotta be, Gilmon looks fucking gangster as fuck with the sunglasses. He looks like he's ready to drop some motherfuckers. Maybe being the badass boss that she is. It actually makes sense that she'd be working with someone like Goshiro, actually. Oh! It'd be just like Tacha be relaxing, chilling with Agumon. I actually wouldn't have it any other way. Looks like they're actually chilling out in the digital world, though. All right. That was actually a great way of capping off the series. I'm actually going to give episode 67, if I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I actually really loved it in a few places, though, because you saw some bits, like when you had Sora running with Baelmon, it's like, okay, you're running with her in broad daylight, but then you have other bits that contradict that, because and having Sora running from Digimon in broad daylight, you have other bits where you have Upalon wearing a disguise, had him on hiding in a backpack to not cause a ruckus. So it's like some bits in the episode kind of contradict itself, but it wasn't anything too damning, though. I mean, it's just final cute bits in the last episode. So I'm not going to be too hard on that. And for the most part, the episode was fantastic because it had a nice feeling of finality at the very least. It's actually a nice how. I wonder if they're going to have a preview. It doesn't look like it, but hey, you know what? Toei did a great job in capping off the series, because I thought the battle between Omegamon and Negamon was really well done. I love how they didn't just end it off in a single episode. I love how it took up a good portion of 66 and a good portion of this week to finish off the fight. And as a positive side, too, even though, yes, they did kind of rush through the epilogue, it was nice getting to see how some of the Digimon reacted to our Digijust succeeding in saving the digital world and the human world, too. So, over some nice positives in the episode, if I gotta give it credit. Now, and saying that, though, yeah, I gotta mention the animation quality, because it was absolutely gorgeous, because it was beautiful. Everything moved. Thought the artwork was damn beautiful too. And here's the thing I loved about it from an entertainment standpoint. You had Omegamon with different forms. You have Omegamon constantly show off different stuff. Literally, the way they portrayed Omegamon in this episode, he truly felt like an in-game form, and I loved it, because after seeing him in like episode 3 of the series, I was like, how are they gonna make him look overall stronger? Well, this episode dashed my, but for the most part, the episode. Now, and saying that, there were also other things I absolutely loved about this episode too. For one, I love the fact that aside from the action and the animation looking great, I love the remixes of Break the Chain, because they literally had 2 more of them. And honestly, this series can have unlimited Break the Chain remixes, because that's my favorite Digimon song of all time. So if they continue having that, it's never going to get fucking old, at least for me. So that's what I thought from a sound standpoint. The episode was absolutely fantastic. And that's why I felt that I had to rate the episode a 9.5 out of 10. Now, if I had to rate the series overall, though, that's where it gets freaking tricky, though, because y'all know my thoughts. Yeah, I loved the first 2 episodes of the series. I loved the last 2 episodes of this series, and some of the middle episodes. But if I were to rate the series overall on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I gotta give it a 5 out of 10. If, say, I was looking at the perspective as a non-Digimon fan, but since I am a Digimon fan, I gotta bump up my score to a 6 out of 10 for above average as a Digimon fan. But for non-Digimon fans, I gotta rate this average, because I gotta be objective here. This series had problems. Did I enjoy this series? Fuck yeah, I did. But I can't ignore the issues, though. And now I can finally take off the gloves now that the series has ended. For anyone that has not watched the original Digimon series, there's a reason why I rated this a 5 out of 10 if I were to look at the perspective as a non-Digimon fan. The reason why I did is because the original Digimon accomplished a lot more with a way lower budget. Because what this series lacked that prevents it from being higher than a 6 out of 10 for me, it lacked a lot of emotion. Because in the original Digimon series, you had substantial things like the death of Wizardmon being the catalyst for Tailmon digivolving to Anjumon. In this series, they cheapened Anjumon's transformation so that when she transformed into Anjumon, it felt like any other transformation. It didn't feel like the, oh shit, this is absolutely utterly epic. No. And then not just that, but this series really fucked over Hikari and Telmon's characterization, because even in the original series, there were epic bits like when Anjumon was going up against this devil lady looking Digimon in the original series. There was this hilarious bitch slap fight. I'm like, yo. And then literally a dialogue in that fight scene from some of the surrounding characters, like Hikari potentially telling Anjumon to declaw that Digimon. I was like, damn. In the original series, this series didn't have anything like that. It didn't have any amazing amount of characterization for Hikari or Tailmon like that. That's my issue with this series. They really screwed over Hikari and Tailmon a lot, and Anjumon by association, and not having anything like that for those two. And here's another issue too. The older Digimon, the original, it had actually emphasized the effects of divorce more on Takaru and Yamato and how it shaped their lives. This series didn't have that. It only showed like a small snippet, and that's it. It only really nudged and touched on it. So in doing that, it robbed Yamato and Takaru of a lot of potentially awesome characterization. And that's why I felt from an emotional standpoint, Digimon 2020, while yes, it was entertaining to see, it failed. It utterly failed at that. Because in getting rid of that moment, it just makes you feel like, okay, there's nothing to show you that the writers are trying to go above just a nice anime aimed for younger audiences. At least in the original Digimon, it felt like the writers aspired towards something more. This series doesn't feel like it aspires towards much of anything at all, except for being entertaining, which there's nothing wrong with that. But since it's connected to the original Digimon, because they're both called Digimon Adventure, I have to compare it. I can't just ignore it. And it goes further than that, because in the original series, you had characters like Joe who had confidence problems and eventually became more confident throughout the series. They don't have that for Joe anymore. They screwed over Yamato too, because in the original series, I remember Yamato and Taichi midway in the series getting into a fight with each other, a fist fight, and even having Agumon and Gabumon fight each other in their mega forms too. And I remember that being such a holy shit, what the fuck moment in the original series. This series doesn't have any of that. It doesn't have much infighting between the group or any of the Digidestined. And none of that, which really affected this series because it kind of made the main characters at times feel a little bit Mary Sue-ish and not having those kind of emotional conflicts. It lowered the emotional level for me when it came to the 2020 series. And that's why, even though, yes, I enjoyed the series, it had downsides. And no, it is not as good as the original series. Doesn't even hold a candle to the original. And another problem with this series too is, while yes, the fights may have looked amazing and great, we rarely saw any of our main heroes, Digimon, work together to achieve the victory. Usually in this series, victory is achieved by, I'll just Digivolve into my another form and bam, I just win the fight. Kind of felt like sometimes when it comes to digital evolutions, they were giving the Digimon like fucking candies. It was like, oh yeah, you get to Digivolve. You get to Digivolve. While in the original series, there was more strategy involved in having the enemies taken down. Hell, for Pete's sake, in the original series, there's a Digimon, I believe it was called Paimon, who was this clown-looking Digimon that absolutely made War Greymon and made Gabumon's Mega Forms look like chumps when it was first introduced, and it defeated a lot of Digimon. And I was like, oh man, this dude's a fucking badass. And the thing is, that Digimon wasn't even an in-game boss, and I thought he was scary as fuck. There was no Digimon in this series that made me feel as much fear as Paimon in the original series. None of them at all. Which is a damn shame, because Paimon was actually a really damn scary antagonist. And sadly, they just had nothing to live up to that. And not just that, but in the original series, there are moments where you had to see Takeru step it up against like tough odds. You never saw any of that in this series like the original series had. And that's why I just have to mention it. The new series just lacks a lot of emotional moments like that. It felt like when Toei made this series, it felt like their main goal was just making cool fights. And don't get me wrong, I love cool fights as much as the next guy, but it's like, I need the fights to have substance, though, especially when you can compare this series to the original series, because then it's under more scrutiny. And that's why overall, if I had to rate this series, I have to give it a 5 to a 6 out of 10. For me personally, as a Digimon fan, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But if I were to say give it a rating to like any other normal anime fan, I'd be like 5 out of 10 for just average. Because I felt like Toei, they dropped the ball when it comes to the script writing of this series. Because it's like a lot of emotional moments were skipped. And really, it felt like the only characters that were upgraded in the series were pretty much Mimi and Taichi. And that's about it. Pretty much, if it was any other character, for the most part, they got screwed. Well, I mean, I guess they did a decent job with Koshiro's characterization. But pretty much any character not Taichi or Mimi or Koshiro got screwed over. And that's a really damn shame, because Digimon 2020 had an amazing start. Literally, when the series started out, it felt like, oh shit, this might actually be ending up better than the original. But I should have seen it coming, though, because this series showed cracks in its armor. The moment they introduced Omnimon in episode number 3, I should have known that the series was going to fall off a cliff. But, I mean, y'all know me. I try to stay optimistic with the series, you know? Especially since Digimon was one of the series I watched as a kid, and I loved watching it. I remember watching the original Digimon decades ago, and I freaking loved it. So it's disappointing to say this about Digimon 2020, because y'all know me. I used to buy the Digimon toys. I used to watch some of the Digimon movies in the US when they premiered. Well, at least some of the first few Digimon movies. So it's kind of sad to say that the series overall just ended up being okay. It wasn't awful, because Toei did redeem itself somewhat in the last 2 episodes. Had episodes 66 and 67 sucked, y'all would have seen me be angry as fuck, and I would have rated the series a 4 or 3 out of 10 if they would have fucked up the last 2 episodes. Thankfully, Toei didn't do that. But at the same time, 2 exceptionally done final episodes doesn't make up for a lot of the inconsistency in this series. And that's not to mention some of the other downsides, like Taichi showing up at a fucking nowhere for multiple episodes in the series. This series definitely giving Sora the foot when it comes to her having characterization. Like, there were just plenty of weaknesses in the series that I couldn't ignore. But at the same time, it did enough to get a 5 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10, because to its credit, aside from the fights looking good, I thought the music was great. And at the very least, for the first few episodes of the series, they had high stakes. Where some of the first few episodes, we saw how the conflict in the digital world was affecting the conflict in the human world. Kind of wish the rest of the episodes in the series would have done that, but hey, it did it decently enough. And something I did like about this series too was some of the heartful episodes, like when you had Mimi go to that Digimon school, was actually really cute. Or that episode involving Joe with that Digimon that liked fries and burgers. I thought that was a pretty nice episode. Or even that bit where it felt like Taichi was helping out that Digimon that kind of resembled Ordermon was actually pretty damn lit too. So there's some standalone episodes in the series that were actually really incredibly done. But those episodes only take this series to, at the very least, average tier, because for every episode like that, we had some of the inconsistent episodes, like when you had that episode where Gabumon had to be involved in a race against the other Digimon. That was pretty atrocious. Pretty much almost any Sora episode was pretty lacking in visual fidelity or even amazing characterization. So for every amazing episode, you had some stinkers here and there. And that's why I got to give the series an average rating, because it was thoroughly inconsistent. Now, if you're asking me what I would rate the original series, I have a high fondness for the series, the original one, and I'd rate it a 7.5 out of 10. And that's only because the 0-2 was badly done and the Digimon Trial was badly done. If those two series weren't badly done, the original would be like straight up an 8 or even an 8.25 out of 10. But since the original had a lot of bad sequels, but even then, I would still rate the original above this series, even with the original having to deal with the baggage of 0-2 and Digimon Try. And if you're wondering what I would rate Tamers, I would rate Digimon Tamers literally an 8.5 out of 10. Tamers is like peak Digimon for me, if y'all wondering. So it's a shame this series couldn't live up to those heights. But regardless, though, I did enjoy what Digimon 2020 provided and had fun with it. And to its credit, though, music is fucking beautiful. Top tier. Like, literally, if the series was as good as its music, this series would have been a fucking classic. That's how good I thought the music tracks in the series were. Like Extreme Fight, Be the Winners, Break the Chain. How in hell can I not love those theme songs? They're amazing fucking tracks. And yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the series. I thought Digimon 2020 was okay. At least it stuck its landing. I'll give it credit for that. And if you're ever curious, yes, I am going to react to, I think it's called Digimon Ghost game. I'm definitely going to be reacting to that. And hopefully Toei ends up making that one better than 2020. I hope that, because I saw some key visuals for that one. It looks like it's going to have less of a main cast. So hopefully that means Toei is going to be able to dedicate massive amounts of screen time towards a smaller cast of characters. And hopefully there won't be anyone underutilized in that new Digimon series. At least I can cross my fingers on that and hope. And that'd be fucking swell. But yeah, these are my overall thoughts on the series overall. But anyways, y'all, I would love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about either my reaction or the series itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all later if you come back for more. But anyways, y'all, thank you very much for watching my video and have a fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.